Thank you. Wow. Amin, such a pleasure. You found us, huh? We tried to stay away from you.
You talking to
How are
me?
you, Amin?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
talking to you.
found you. I found you.
Right. Hard to find us these days, right?
Yeah. Watson
And
found you first, then I followed.
yeah, let's get people in. Today we have an exciting session. We have a lot of people who are going to talk about. Shilan and I will just talk about the course also. I don't think I can hand over if that's okay. If you want, we can.
Actually, I really just need like a minute in the beginning and 1 minute in the end. That's it. But very important announcement because I don't want people to miss this last chance, right?
Awesome. Let me hand it over to you.
Okay.
That will work too. Let me go live on LinkedIn and we'll get started. Today I
Okay.
have a lot to cover. A lot of people have a lot to cover today. So it's more when I have a lot to cover, I'm okay. But when people are like getting ready, all makeup and all, I'm like, okay, give them time. So just give me 1 second. Let me clear this. So, okay, I think we're good. Chetong
Okay.
is here. Just give me 1 second. I will hand it over to you, Shilan.
Okay.
So,
No problem.
A lot of familiar faces. Hi, y'all.
welcome, welcome. I think we have more than 20 people now. We can get started. Let me just go live, which is the LinkedIn part, which I do. So we'll just go live. This one, go live. We can say hi to people on LinkedIn now. Going live. This may take, yeah, I think we are live.
Right.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. I think we are all set to rock our sessions. I think Kalpan just joined and Kalpan missed the party. So today, let me share my screen. What are we going to do today? Today is pretty exciting because I have a lot of people from community talking. Shilan is going to give you some updates on the most exciting thing on town today, which is our course. But before that, let me just give me 1 second. Let me see if I can share my screen because that's at least will be needed. All of you have access to the slides, correct? If not, somebody please share a link to in chat. It's always good to give people slides because that's where we have all the links. Most of the things, the goal of the community is to make sure you can follow up on these things and continue to learn. Again, I'm Mahesh. I think most of you know me. If you're in this call, definitely you know me because otherwise you would have never reached out. But if you don't know me, I am running this community and I'm part of it. I work at Google and working in machine learning and AI for last 10 plus years now. And I worked at pretty much every big company that FANG has. And this community is my way of making friends and sharing or learning from this panel. If you made it to this one, this call, that means you are special because there are a lot of people who don't make it to this call. So feel special, ask good questions. Today's session, we're going to discuss key takeaway from Google Next. I love because I've worked with these companies, I know how much goes into preparing these big conferences, which is yearly conferences. For Microsoft, it's Build. For Google, it's Google Next. And reInvent for AWS and developer conference for Facebook. I think 6 months goes into this in preparing for these sessions, and you can learn them in like 10-15 minutes. So last time we decided that we'll just go and some people can volunteer. So today we're going to discuss Google Next and few solution space. We talk a lot about problem space in these, and especially like what we do as product managers. But if you go to these conference, they talk about problem a little bit, but mostly they are saying we have a solution for any problem in the world. So we'll discuss the problem space, and we'll discuss part one. I will walk through some stuff. Anushil has done great work on enhanced reg. Chetali will come in and talk about Google Next overall a little bit, but mostly focus on agents workflow. So that's what I have in store for you. Uh, we'll discuss top of mind. But before I go there, I want to give it to Shilan to talk about something super exciting. Go ahead, Shilan. All
Okay.
yours.
Thank you, Mahesh. Yeah. So, as maybe the one that you have been with us, you know that Mahesh, we finally launched the course last week, and yeah, it's been popular. So, we are really happy to see that. And the new person here may not know, but we did offer like an early bird pricing for this community because we want to thank you for your support. But the pricing is ending this Monday, April 22nd. I'm still working on the cutoff with our partners. So if you haven't, or if you have enrolled but haven't paid yet, do that soon because I will have to up the pricing on Monday. Like it will be sometime with our partners because we have to coordinate with the March launch. So that's one thing because we absolutely want to give you like the best pricing since you are in the community. And the second thing is if you or any friends are like recently impacted, directly reach out to me. We might be able to, do something for you. So that's it with that. I'm gonna hand that back to Amesh. Thank you.
Wow, what a short one today. Thank you, Shilan. But I think this is an amazing opportunity for you to learn a lot. This is a revised course, especially focused on GenAI PM. The material is new, so I highly encourage you to have a look and learn. I think this sets the foundation. A couple of people have reached out to me, asked me like, does it help me transition from data science or solution architect to PM? I think it will definitely help you. That's where I have seen most of my success come from. Neeraj is one of that guy who is in this call, and we talk about like how PMs look at things. And my personal perception, and that's what you will see in the course, is I try to bring people along on the technical aspect of things. My thing is that you get maybe one chance or two chance to crack a good, convert a really good opportunity, and don't miss out on them just because you did not learn the basics on the technical side. So the course does have that, and make sure you sound better. And maybe if you go through the course in your interviews, or if you're talking to somebody or starting a company, you will be able to teach them something new. That remains the goal. The course will get you started there, and the community here, if you are watching this session, will help you also learn and push those things. With that said, let's get started on top of mind. Few amazing things happened last week, like every week in our world. One is Llama 3. Anybody saw Llama 3 coming out? Today, I'm going to take questions in the end. I want to give like 10-15 minutes, and Shilan will help me route the questions as well. We'll not take questions in the first 15 minutes, first 30 minutes, so that people have prepared sessions and they get to chance to talk about their sessions and have good, at least you can learn from what they have learned from Google Next. But we'll have a Q&A session for sure, but let's keep it in the end. Llama 3 came out. I gone through the model. I put the model card here. Amazing model. Key takeaways: at least 8 times more data to train. Where they got the data? They use Llama 2 to generate the data. So they are saying they're not using consumer data, but a lot of data they bought and created more data through Llama 2. Context have gone from 2K to 8K, even the small models. So that's big deal because the more context you can handle, the more training time you need. And the more context you can handle, the larger problems you can solve for your customers. Context is nothing but how many words you can ask a question. So every time you ask ChatGPT something, you can attach your CV, let's say, and ask like, "Hey, any suggestions?" But if it is a contract, and if the contract is 500 pages, ChatGPT might say, "Oh, it's larger than what I can handle." That larger is the context, and now they can take 8,000 tokens. Think of that as 6,000 so words. Think of that as if you have around 100 per page, you can process a 60-page document right now. If it is more than that, you need to use what we will talk about later, which is RAG or something else. Another cool thing was that they are going after ChatGPT. So now they launched something called Meta.ai. You saw that somebody tried it also, may have, but they are also launching their first chatbot. You can actually ask anything and generate images. You can simulate a mock interview and work on that. I highly recommend people to try it and see if that helps, and maybe come here and talk about a side by side comparison of ChatGPT versus Meta AI. Maybe don't compare it with Turbo. I think the model is only 3.5 comparison worth. So that's top of mind for me. I think rest is fill this form if you want to join the community. Somebody paste this form for LinkedIn. Please paste it on LinkedIn. Maybe Shilan can help here. So if people want to join the community and ask questions and be in Zoom call, we send
Actually,
words.
Hamesh, very quickly, I'll drop the link to the community on the chat box too, because that's a more direct way to join it.
Awesome. Thank you. That's it. Having said that, let's get started on the real things, which is what we're going to discuss today. So I gone through this session, which is a pretty cool session. This was the session I looked at. And this session, they talked about all the cool stuff that happened in the world of retrieval augmented generation. Now, what is retrieval augmented generation? Let's spend maybe 2 minutes to understand this complex word and how it works. And then we will see what the announcement is about. Sounds good? Today, I won't let you talk, but Valentina, thank you. Well, let me see if I can rub this board somehow. Awesome. Maybe this is all we need. Okay. Can somebody tell me four, and this time you can talk. Tell me what is the problem with models. Two or three major problems with LLMs. Can everybody see my board? I will stop sharing so the board becomes big for people on LinkedIn. People, please remind me. So one problem is that they're trained on generic data. Like we just saw Llama 3, 15 trillion, you can think of 12 trillion words it is trained on. So some Wikipedia things. But if you ask a question about something about you, help me plan my future for finances, when can I retire? It will give you some generic answer. Can't give you answer when you will retire, but can give you a generic answer when a 25-year-old can retire given these things. So it's not specific. Second, they have a cutoff date. Like for the Llama 3, I was reading that the date is March 2023. That was last time this year. So it misses all year of data. So if you want to ask it who won the NFL, it doesn't know that. And it doesn't know what happened yesterday, and it doesn't know what happened in the world of February, March. Enterprises has high sensitivity to this because their world is pretty much changing every week, every month, especially quarterly at least. And third thing you will find is that it's really hard for them to come up with accurate and tell you where this information is coming from to verify. Correct? So these are the three problems that you will get with a large language model whenever you go to talk about them, or any model you use, GPT-4, Turbo, Llama, or anything. Then what is the solution proposed last year was people said, what you can do is instead of sending your prompts, which is basically your questions, to a large model, let's call it GPT-4. What you can do if you ask them questions like, hey, what is my blood sugar, or give me a trend on my blood sugar, it will just give you some lame wrong answer. They said instead of that, what you can do is you can do the question, you can put all your reports in some kind of vector database vector DB, and then tell it that, hey, use gets only relevant reports that is relevant to your question. And now you send your question plus these reports. And in your instruction, you can tell it that, hey, only use this data to answer the question. This part, this technique is called RAG, which is retrieval. You did retrieval here, you augmented it with your question, and then you asked the model to generate. So RAG means retrieval augmented generation. So that's the solution. Now, this solution has some problems. So I will take these problems away and I will point new problems. So this solution has problems because earlier, if you ask somebody, you give them document and ask questions like, hey, use these documents to answer a question, they come back and they give you a citation and you can get an answer. But the last problem of citing where that came from was very wrong. Like which document, because this vector database stores all your company documents. It can give you some chunks out of that, which is some part of the document or some document pages. But once you know where it is coming from, that part kind of was a mess. So it was hard to know where the information is coming from or not. And then doing accuracy checks was still a challenge. Like sometimes this information was wrong, sometimes the best answer was wrong. And how people were solving this is that people did not cite anything or they cite too many documents. So they will cite 10 documents and best of luck. They will say, you go and read all these 10 if you want to verify my answer. Or they will give you a wrong 3 answers, like you saw in Gemini, and then ask you to pick one so that they can train their model better. Right? What I learned. So these are the 3 problems with RAG. RAG solved a couple of 3 problems it was solving. It created new 3 problems last year. Even we checked on a database of contracts and we saw that ChatGPT 4 only gets 3 times right out of 10 if you ask it where you got this information in a contract. It got the information right 8 out of 10 times. So if you are to ask, if you give it a contract and ask a question saying, hey, what is the amount of liability in this contract? It can answer that question 8 out of 10 across different contracts. But then you ask the question, tell me where you read this in this 500-page contract. Only 3 times it gets it right. 7 times it gets it wrong. That's where we saw this API, or most of the people were getting these complaints last year when we were selling this vector search. So this is the database I was talking about. So you can create, these 2 were there, right? That's why you see an update, because this is released last year. This is the vector database section in this picture, this piece. So this piece right here. So this piece was last year. People got that right. And they're making it better. But there 2 or 3 new things are launched. One is document AI layout parser. So most of your documents have tables, pictures, and all, and they were all getting missed. So if you put anything in your document which is not text, it was completely ignored by the LLM or the RAG-based system. This API fixes that. It can basically find different layouts and can parse the text out. This is vector database creating that database. The ranking API was pretty cool. So it's part of my document. You have access to my document. I will highly recommend you to read it. But if you look at this, how ranking API works it, that you can give it 3 answers. So you ask a question like how to fix a leaky faucet, and it gives you 3 answers. Then you can call the ranking API to check which answer is the best answer. And if the score of the ranking, you can actually rank. Like search rankings, we see like the top result. Similarly, you can try a question 3 times and then get the best answer by calling this API. So I found that pretty cool, straightforward to use, send the text, send the content, get the ranks. The next one is more exciting, which is a bigger challenge, which is how to ground or tell where this information is cited from. So if you answer a question, you can actually tell it where it is coming from in a document. That one, if you look at this, all you give it is, you say, this is my content, this is my answer, and these are the sources. I believe all of them, like you give them 10 sources and your answer to a question, it goes and says only these three are useful. And inside that document, it also goes and tell you that now inside that document where this information is coming from. So two things, instead of giving 10 contracts, now you can only give back two contracts. So people will not have like 10 links to look at, they will have only one. So that's great. So you answer the question and then have you seen Perplexity? Perplexity give you sources where you got it. So imagine today Perplexity is quite lame that way. It gives you so many sources that nobody will go and check. So let's see. If you go to Perplexity, and if Shilan has done awesome work, our course should come. What is the best course for PMs? I know I'm going to market somebody else's course today. Best course for PMs to get into AI. You see this? They give you these sources, 7 of them. Look at that. Like, can you actually go and read all of them if you want to verify this data? With the API, you can actually give only one where this answer is coming from. So if you see this, right, this answer is 1 or 3 mostly. And that API will be able to give you that. So now Maven courses, all that, I'm not going to market them. One day we will go back to this. If you guys help, with your help, we will be that answer. Hopefully next year this time, because this time we are launching first time. But now you can see what is going on and how this API works, which is this API basically allows you, if you give the API that answer and those 10 sources, it can reduce them. And also, if you go one of the links, it can tell you in that whole article where it is coming from. So it makes life much, much easier. In our contract example, imagine you uploaded 7 contract. It will first give you one contract where it is coming from. And if you open a 500-page contract, it will take you to the section, page number 34, line number 17. That's where this answer is coming from, which makes building.
We lost your audio, Mahesh.
Yeah, it has to happen once, right? Okay. I think I'm back now. So my takeaway out of that is RAG is going to get better and better for enterprises. These are the problems that enterprise were need to actually support their customers, because Perplexity, who cares, right? That where this comes from. But if you have a contract and if you answer a liability question, lawyers want to check that before they go and copy paste that. They need to make sure that you have done the job. And if they have to spend more time verifying the answer from an AI, then the ROI of AI is not good. We discussed that whole ROI section. That's where these APIs are coming and helping. So expect more and more of this to come through RAG, and RAG is going to go much more cleaner, and it will bring the insights like a human does, which is, if you think of, if you have an assistant or if you have a junior, if you ask them a question, they answer, and then you say, doesn't seem right. They say, yeah, it's right. Then you say, where you got it from? And then they tell you. And then you say, okay, your source is bad. And then you prove them where the right source is. All that is possible by AI today. So that's pretty much it. My takeaway, please watch the video. The video is linked on the top. Come back to your questions on LinkedIn. I'm happy to answer any question on LinkedIn. Just send me a message if you have any questions. Try the API. The API is here. The signature is pretty cool. I think you can just try it or just see like how it is used. And once you are done, please talk to your dev teams. Or if you're building AI products, go to your uh, pitch deck and say, now we can actually do better citation, and inside the document we can go where the information is. We can also do ranking, so we are like 50% better than ChatGPT, and we are 90% better than ChatGPT in citing sources. So all that is possible, just building on top of what Cloud Next or Google is doing. Having said that, I think now I want to invite Anushil, who worked on this with me and created an awesome structure here. Anushil, if you want to share, I can give you permission, but I can show your work and all yours, Anushil.
Sure. Thanks, Mahesh. So I went through a couple of other videos that from Google Next 24. So there were 3 video links that I've shared in this document that talk about like basic RAG and then enhanced versions of RAG that and the capabilities that Google offers. So I'll not go into the technicals of what those capabilities are, but I'm just going over with like my takeaways from the sessions that I watched, and my takeaways are mostly based on the use cases that we can use it for. So yeah, if you go down, Mahesh, so the basic form of RAG architecture is basically like you take your own proprietary document. So for example, in this case, I've taken like Google Next 24 data files. You go through the embedders and store it as a vector. So this is done even before the user is introduced into the picture, or like you even ask any questions about the. So and then like once it has the vector storage, you can ask the question about specific about that particular document. So in this particular case, can you list, and like if the user asks for listing and summarizing all RAG related videos, it goes through the user query embedding model, and then you use the LLM to generate the list of the 6 videos and like what is the summary from those 6 videos. So this is the very basics RAG structure that I think Mahesh also talked about. Um Now, what we can do I think in the enhanced RAG versions is like if you go to the next version, so everything remains the same, but instead of like just the proprietary data that the company or the product is already trained on. You also introduced a personalized customer database layer. So if you already have some customer information in the database, so this might be like structured database. So um, in this particular case, you don't just use the RAG, but you also use the customer information to personalize the output as per the customer. So in the video that I watched, I think the video was based on like a front-end website where you could personalize the product image or the product description based on the customers, where the customer is coming from or what demographic they belong to. In this particular case, I'm sticking to the example of Google Next 24. So like, for example, if it's a CTO who has registered for Google Next 24, and yet you already have their information, what company they are working for. And if they ask to summarize the Google Next 24 based on their use cases, you can go to the customer database, you can go to the Google Next data vector store, and the LLM can summarize the relevant videos just for you. So this is enhanced version of RAG. And the third one, I think, is the agentic RAG version that was in the third video that I watched. So like on top of proprietary information RAG that we discussed in the first architecture, second one was like adding personalization on top. Now third one is, so far RAG is just based on retrieving the information that we already have. But like what if it's we want to take an action based on the information that we have already retrieved. So that's where agent comes into the picture. In the example that I watched, I think they were trying to reschedule a flight that they have already booked. So how can you reschedule a flight? So for in that case, like you'll have to identify the information, identify the customer, pull their data, and then get a confirmation, and then identify the possible flights that you can reschedule the flight for the customer for, and then get the confirmation and book for the customer for the next available flight. In this particular case, again, I'm sticking to the example of Google Next 24. So, for example, if you want to send a summary to someone's email ID, so the action over here is like sending it to the to that particular email ID. So this goes beyond RAG's capability, and that's why you use an agent. So the agent will orchestrate and give the like different uh, uh, like servers involved. So in this case, an email server is also involved. So in case other than like the basic RAG extracting the information, personalizing the information using the customer database, and then the last one is just using the email server to send it to that particular. So yeah, these are the three types I think I learned from the videos that I watched.
This is amazing. Thank you, Anushil. And Anushil has done a great job of putting it right there. His document is also attached. The videos that he has watched also are attached. Please watch them. And some of them have PDF articles. So just go through the PDF of their slide deck if you are pro. So I think highly recommended. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Mahesh. Quick question. I saw questions on the chat box. One is, can we please share the slides link in the chat window, please? And then Ganson, if you want to show your Ganson, if you want to show your face, because I see your question. You say, please share some light on ranking. Does it compare to at one time or one-to-n comparison? So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Valentina. I also have a follow-up question, may I?
Yes, please.
Sure. So the second option, I think first of all, yeah, thank you for giving an amazing summary and taking out time to go through this. Could you tell me a little bit more, like how do you think the user personalized RAG would operate? Like is it like storing that user ID plus some information about that person? Is it going to the vector DB? Like I would love to get a little bit more nuance about that specific topic, about how this will work.
Yeah, I can give you a quick TLDR on that, right? So basically, what happens, Ankit, is that you take all your documents. Now you have a layout parser API, which basically parses your documents well. Then you use the embedding models to convert the words or text into embedding. You store them, and then there is new, basically two APIs, which is ranking API will help you rank the answers you got, and it compares the answers that you are giving. So you have to generate three answers, and now you can rank them. Or if you have previous answers, then you can rank this is better than the last best answer, and only give the answer if it is better than that. So you can cache some answers for most popular queries and have human also like contribute to that. And if the model has done a different job or a good job, then only show those answers. So that's a little bit the enhanced part. And the next is, which is what you were working on earlier, which is this idea that how can we give confidence on, is this data actually accurate?
Mm-hmm.
And one way to do that is check, is this answer coming from the documents we have retrieved? This assumes that the
Got it.
documents or the chunks retrieved are really good. Then this grounding API basically allows you to get grounding scores. So given answer and given sources, you can get a score of grounding. And
Mm.
if, let's say, in all the documents you have a less grounding score, then you can say that this answer is hallucinated. Means it's one kind of saying that maybe
Got it.
it's one indicator. It doesn't solve the complete problem, like, because you will find sometimes it's not, you will answer questions which are not coming from document, but they might be correct. But if you give the instruction that only use these documents,
Mm-hmm.
and then this API is returning that, hey, I am saying -1, none of the document that I'm citing
Mm-hmm.
actually is responsible for this answer, you get an indicator. And that indicator is basically enhanced RAG, is how they are pitching it. With that, I want to move a little earlier today. We will have questions in the end. So I want to move it forward and go to the next topic. Uh, and thank you, Anushil. I think your examples were really helpful in nailing down the concept. I want to talk about embeddings. We'll talk about maybe next time. But I want to give the stage to Chetali. Chetali worked on the cool part where Anushil left, which is a handover from RAG to agents. And agents is the new large language model budge this year. And I think a lot of work going in agents. This is the first time people are going and saying, Can I take on a horizontal function? So can I become a tax advisor? Can I become a personal advisor through AI? So that is happening through agents. And all yours, Shetali.
Yeah, thank you, Mahesh. Hello, everyone. Mahesh, can you please share the doc what I have?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was sharing all along, and I told Ankit that all this, and Ankit didn't ask for the doc. I was saying this, and I was pointing to my doc all the time. Thank you. Now, so imagine there was a doc when I was talking to Ankit, but this is the doc that. Sorry, this is not the doc that Chitali put in. This is the doc that Chitali provided.
Yeah.
All yours, Chitali.
Yeah, so I think we are all talking about agents now. So, what is the difference? So, basically, any of these machine learning models, from so far, they have been into supervised, unsupervised, and many things. They learn from one shot or zero shot or few shot learning. That is the machine learning way of learning. And currently, the chat GPT or this kind of LLMs, what we have, they are mostly learning from zero shot. So, for example, if you tell them that write an essay about a certain topic, it just writes, and it stops at a certain end. So, there is no iteration happening in between. So, there are no checks, there are no grounding of the things or relevancy of the information, or not, we are not able to guide it actually. So this is a classic example of zero shot learning, what the LLMs were doing. So the agents, the beauty of it is this is a very iterative process. So they have steps, they have checks, and you are actually gradually, navigating through them, and you are able to like create a document or create a text or create a piece of work from the LLMs by getting benefited with this iterative process. So they will probably ask you plan an outline for the essay, or then a few steps that what you want to add in the conclusion or you want in the body. So this kind of steps are being provided by the agent. So these days the trend is to go with a multi-agent, not even a single agent. So for the Google Next, there are a lot of this great stuffs what have been put forward, which I'm going to take you through. The first is the YouTube video what I have watched, and the crux of that video is what I have put through this particular deck what I have prepared, and also there's a GIF attached to it which gives the glimpse of the Vertex AI Agent Builder. So today, when we are going to create these agents, there are different frameworks available like LangChain or Llama Index. They provide different kind of components, which also needs lot of code knowledge or coding knowledge to get into all the things in place. Because you need an interface, you need the data sources, you need compute, you need aggregator, and then all these foundation models, or you want to go with APIs. Those things have been curated together by Google, and they have announced a no code interface in the form of Vertex AI Agent Builder. So the complexity of creating all these agents has been taken away by this Vertex AI Agent Builder. The Vertex AI Agent Builder gives the flexibility to choose from the model garden of Google. Vertex AI already being in place where you can choose the different type of foundation models, and also you have the compute available, you have the API integration available, Google search integration, and every other aspect of it. So with this, the entire journey of building agents for the business angle becomes very easy. So if Mahesh, you can go back to the slide once. Yeah, here actually the key thing what I have watched in the video is Gemini Pro 1.5, which is a very large language model again with the largest context window so far. It supports up to 1 million. So this is one of the big model which is going to be at the behind of these agents, and integration with the existing LangChain or different other frameworks is also going to be there. So the developers do not feel out of place. So they can even still build in Vertex AI, leveraging what they are right now using externally. And the agents are actually helping to perform different actions. So business people will be really benefited, which Anushil was also giving example, the travel agent kind of example. So what Google have put forward is there are 6 type of agents what they have almost built pre-packaged here right now. If you can scroll down a little, Mahesh. The different type of agents what are there are the customer agents, the employee agents, the creative agents, the data agents, code agents, and security agents. Each one has a purpose of fulfilling for the business point of view and can be used in different type of things. The customer agent is actually your customer service agent. So whatever this customer service human representatives are doing, these customer agents will be capable of doing those kind of stuffs, servicing people, and they can even interact with a human in the loop, and they can be your call center agent, or they can be your voice of the customer in the point of sales, anywhere you wanted to place them seamlessly. There are some examples what has been cited in this particular video for Mercedes-Benz or ING or Oppo, who have already been their customer agents. Similarly, there are creative agents. They are going to be your marketing agents. So whatever kind of ad campaigns or marketing write-ups they need, these are seamlessly creating the audios, videos, and texts. And there is Google Imagine 2.0 image model is there, and there are the Google Vids is a new introduction in this Google Next release. So these are the AI powered video creation applications. And even several customers, even like Canva and Procter and Gamble, are using this kind of creative agents, which will make the marketing journey seamless. And a very crucial agent, what is called the data agent. These are the data analysts. So we run for getting the crux out of data, or we have to traverse through different kind of Tableau or Power BI or the Excel sheets to get out the insights out of the data. So these data analyst agents are actually your data analysts at work. And Walmart have created a very beautiful data agents across to traverse through their vast data sets and create the analytics out of it. Then comes the code agents. Code agents are definitely, we all know the code assist or the co-pilots who are there, and these code agents are seamlessly running through. And then the security agents. So security agents are also very crucial. They can actually pose in the form of threat intelligence to threat prediction to your fraudulent activity detection to cybersecurity threats. Everywhere there is a possibility of these kind of incidents, the security agents are empowered to build that. So we're using this Vertex AI Agent Builder. For example, I have just kept a small piece where these customer agents are actually able to serve. And what Mahesh is displaying, you see that how quickly an agent can be created to serve the customers within 3 steps and few tools, whatever you want to integrate. That kind of flexibility is being brought forward. So the key takeaways are that the ready to use. Hello.
Chitali, you want to talk? Actually,
Yeah.
I'm straight away.
Yeah. Vertex AI Agent Builder and different examples how varieties of customers are effectively using are the key takeaways after watching these videos for the Google Next. And the action items are there. So definitely explore this in the Vertex AI Agent Builder, and also try to explore the agents, how you can leverage for your business. And yes, we have to adapt with the Gen AI advancements, and Mahesh and the cohort is there to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitali. Thank you. I'm all in for agents and what capabilities they are bringing. We're talking about agents for a while, especially in our courses, and especially in this community we have built on AutoGen earlier. But I want to just summarize for people so that we can open for questions. Give me 2 minutes of what like at TLDR on agents is. So generally, you can build Q&A bots with these models, right? But what Chaitali was talking is now you can actually build personas and agents who respond to support questions. And how is this different from this guy is it gets the question, it looks at, uses a model, also has access to tools like search, running SQL queries in your company database, running analytics, creating emails, signals to call sales, because support is how people were selling a lot of things. So if it qualifies that intent, it can also call a human sales agent to say, hey, there is an upsell opportunity here. That's an agent. How it calls through this there is this something called function calling. You will read that, which is all these are functions, and this is how you're building tools. And then now she was showing that visually you can tell what is the persona of this agent, what it does, what it takes as input, and what's the output it gives. So now you can build an army of agents to do back office work. Support, you can think of finance, chunking through that data, billing customers rightly. Example is like if you have contracts again, now you need not to wait for your legal. You can take the first draft. You can actually see if it meets your company requirement and respond by yes or no, or redline the contract and say, these are the things I didn't like in the contract, please change them. And if those are changed, then accept the contract, which helps you quickly close the deals as a small company without hiring an army of lawyers. With that, I will open up for questions. We'll have 10 minutes. Me, Chetali, Anushil, please point your questions and we can take them.
I think Ganison has been raising the question for a while, so we'll let him go first.
Go ahead, Ganeshan. You're mute, Ganeshan, so that's the best question we can hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, Mahesh, again, another great session. I have two-part question. One is first about the ranking thing. Does it compare two responses at a time, or does it compare one to n responses? And the second thing is, Microsoft has this concept of copilots, and then now we are agents, which are becoming very popular. Is it like a similar
Let's go
terms
one by one.
or
Let's go one by one. One by one.
yeah, okay.
Your second question is bigger. So let's go one by one. So first question is easy. Let's handle that. So basically, ranking API is going to just give you a rank of that API, that content. So imagine you have a question which is like, hey, how good is my course today? How good is this session today given the summary? Did we nailed it? And we got an answer is like, yeah, it is good. These are the 3 good points. And then we ask again, or then you ask ChatGPT, it gave a different answer, and then you ask Meta AI, it gave a different answer. So now you're using 3 models behind the scenes. For a single question, you have 3 answers. What it will give you a score given this question, which is the best answer. That's how it will rank. It is not comparing, it will just give you a score on a rank. And that means that 2 answers can be scored at the same time also. Like you can get 0.97, 0.97 answer.
Okay,
Does that
understood.
answer your first question? So it's basically like how search ranks all the links, and then it has its own mechanism of figuring out which link to show you first. Hopefully that's not a ad link, but other than that, it actually goes back and finds out how many pages are linked to how many pages and all. That logic is coming now. So first you do a retrieval, and then you do ranking, and then after rank you can decide to show customers the first answer. Now your second one is a really interesting question. So go ahead, please ask your second question.
Sure. See, we have this Microsoft has this concept of copilots, right? That's where they're focusing, and then it has some generation and then some agent capabilities. And in other words, is it just the marketing terminologies what we have between different vendors, or is copilot is very different?
Yeah, so I think these are 2 different things. So one is a product, and one is a tool to build a product, right? So Copilot is a product. You buy Copilot by subscription. So what Microsoft is saying is that, hey, I have an agent which helps you write better code. It's called Copilot for GitHub or GitHub Copilot. Then they just recently released a security Copilot, which Shweta talked about in the. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Just switch. I need to fix that one day. But that's a product, and they can keep releasing it. You don't see the code of these. They will work. You pay $10 per Copilot, and that's it. You never need to build them. If it doesn't work, you can file bug to Microsoft. What Chitali was talking about is a playground where you can create your own agents. So you are basically creating your own Copilot, and you are providing it data of your company, and it will.
Lost you again, Mahesh.
Yeah.
Mahesh, we can't hear you.
Mahesh, we cannot hear you. Mahesh? Muted.
We got to like, let's fix this.
Yeah.
I think we can
Nick
change the
visited
word,
him.
but can't change a Zoom for my teams. Okay. Thank you for pointing. But again, right? So this is a tool. This is a tooling platform which allows you to build your own agents. So you need not to wait for Microsoft to release an agent for legal. So that doesn't exist. But using this tool, you can build that legal agent today. You can build your own lawyer. You can build your own financial advisor. You can build your own assistant, a chief of staff for yourself. So this is a toolbox. This is a product. That's the difference, Ganesh.
Mahesh,
Yeah.
would it be right to say that Copilot is a tool that enhances a human in his daily work versus agents are human personas, so they're basically replacing humans to do the work.
I'm so proud of myself. But exactly, Vinod actually gave a better answer than mine. You should think of, I just went in like tech today solution space. But if you look at like broadly, a co-pilot is basically saying that I'm not going to solve this problem end to end. I cannot take task. The human is doing the task. I'm going to make it faster. What Vinod was saying is that what an agent does is agents actually cuts it horizontally and says, I'm going to become a lawyer. I'm going to become an accountant. I am going to become this thing for you. And what Chitali talked about earlier is they are given a mission to do. And they will continue to iterate till that they do that mission. Mission is given my tax document, please file my taxes. Here is the portal. Just fill all the information and check for me. They will go do that task. While a co-pilot that whoever Intuit is launching, given a document, it can help you answer few questions or get the text faster, but it won't fill it for you. So end to end versus help versus end to end. Chitali, you wanted to chime in? Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, one example you can think of with this multi-agents is in a software development setup, right? You have a developer, you have a tester, you have a project manager. So these agents can be actually orchestrated to pay like do these parts. So there you can have your developer agents, you can have your tester agents, you can have your UX agents. So these kind of coordination can happen between them, and they are doing the dedicated task without any kind of much interference. So that's the power of the agents and multi agents rather, which is very in these days.
So those tools allow you to create these agents, while for Microsoft, you need to wait for them to release everything as a package.
Sure. Mahesh, I have one more follow-up question. I
Always.
see with the agent builder, we are seeing we are democratizing the building process. We don't need to know Llama Index or any of this coding things. Do you see it's a trend, or is it just to capture another segment of the market?
No, I think the whole idea of the whole idea of getting into this space is for cloud providers specifically. For cloud provider, the main idea is that they want to reduce less and less spend on your developers. So they want to take all the common things. So the common thing today earlier was that, oh, if you have a model, learn everything about how to talk to a model. What LangChain did is they said, oh, we build the connectors, you just learn our API and it's much easier. Instead of 20 lines of code, you learn 2 lines of code. These guys are coming and saying that you now need to, now you only need not to write any code, just drag and drop, pick things up, connect them, and your agents are ready. So everybody's trying to make democratize or make it much easier for people to go and try these things. And how they are getting paid is basically getting paid by the inference or the model usage. So if it is hard, if it takes 20 line of code, only only 5 people can try. If it takes 2 lines of code, 10 people can try. And if it is drag and drop, 200 people can try. And you will see that trend going on, Anisha.
Thank you.
Shlan.
So, Amesh, can we take one question from the LinkedIn side because they just started rolling in?
Sure.
There is one question from Vivek. I don't think he can speak here, so I'll speak on his behalf. He asked, "Isn't that ranking based on cross encoders?"
Cost on what is it
Cross
based on?
encoders. Cross encoders.
Cross encoders.
Yes.
Uh, I think couple of things are going in. Yes, cross encoders, but if you look at the example, like I'm not sharing the slide, but go back to the document, and if you look at, they were just looking at how many questions or how the question was framed and what was there in the answers, and maybe what we discussed around ROG and what we discussed about other blue-like metrics. They are running all of those eval metrics behind the scenes, finding out how many words from here in the right sequence are in the answer, and then maybe running cross encoders. But I'm not sure they will go and run cross encoders. I think they might be little lame than cross encoders at this time. Any other questions? If not, I want to give Shilan like 2 minutes back, and she had some announcements. But that's pretty much it. When I see you next time, we'll continue Cloud Next. We'll also talk about few things about how you can prepare or get ready for a new AI based product that you need to build. And we'll continue this where Vinod will talk.
Oh, I think we lost you again.
Of course, you lost me. At least it indicates that it's switched. So Vinod will talk about what he learned in Cloud Next from fine-tuning models, and Kalpan will talk about the same. And we will have a very interesting discussion on fine-tuning, which is another technique to remove hallucination. With that said, Shilan, all yours.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't have much to say, but like other than I saw some latecomers coming, so I just want to re-emphasize the message. Our early price closing for the community members are closing soon. If you want to sign up or you already signed up but haven't paid, do that by Monday because we'll be closing that time sometime on Monday. And that's it. Back to you, Hamish, if you have any closing statements.
No, I think just wanted to say that most of you have reached out. We'll discuss, but I think this is the best thing you can enroll today or tomorrow. Monday the price will change, and Shilan will not make me change the price again. So please do that. We have enough people already, so I will be very transparent with all of you. So there is no like need to do anything. Shilan will be very hard to convince because she has nothing against going. She's gonna keep increasing the prices. So
Well, the thing is not me because we also have partners, so we have to be on the same price. Like, we announce this like early, right? So people can grab this early pricing. So yeah.
So if you're there, please do that. I think it is a very good investment for your time. If it is not, that's okay. We'll always be here in communities. You can continue to learn. It just gives you a really quick ramp up so that you can get the best out of this 1 hour we spend here. Uh, with that, I will leave you, and I'm super excited for next time. Thank you, Anushil Chitali, for coming and doing an awesome session. I think I learned a lot, and I hope all of you learned a lot. And next is just please watch those videos. Please come up with questions. We unloaded a lot of things. If you just watch those videos and come back and try to digest what we shared, I think you will elevate yourself from 0 to 60. So we'll take you from 60 to 90 next time. But till then, bye.
Bye.
Thank
What
you.
videos are you talking about?
Thank you.
Bye.
Videos in Cloud Next.
Thank you, guys.
Cloud Next
Oh,
videos,
Cloud
they are
Next.
linked to the slide deck. Slide deck has docs. Docs has links to YouTube videos. Please watch them. They are
What?
curated only for AI, so you need not to watch all Cloud Next. You can just watch these videos, and you already have summaries, and you have this video as a debrief of those videos.
Where's the link to the slides? Whatever you were talking about.
That's here. I will give again, and let's just put it in our invite. So
Can you put it
Um,
in the chat? chat?
Oh, sorry. One more small announcement. We are working on our LinkedIn page. So in the future, any of the videos and then link, you can find it there. But, still working in progress, but coming. Right. Back to you.
Team, see you. Bye. Take care. Next
Bye.
Saturday.